So next session in Arduino programming is about loops, arrays, functions and strings. So all these concepts we are learning, you can use all this in the Arduino programming using C or C++ language. So first, loops concepts. Loops are one form of control structures that allow you to execute a block of code repeatedly. So there are different types of loops available in Arduino, including for loop, while loop and do while loop. So first one, for loop. For loop is used when you know exactly how many times you want to repeat a block of code. That time you are going to use for loop. So if you are using for loop in Arduino programming basically consists of two main methods like void setup and void loop. Void setup you are using only to initialize the code here. Any initialization values, any constant values, if you want to initialize, you are using it in void setup method. Next, in void loop you are going to write the actual logic. So in void loop you can use the first statement like using the initialization, increment, decrement value and the condition. You give these three values and then whatever the code you want to write it in the for loop and give how many times the loop should be iterated. So this is one form of loops, that is for loop. Next type is while loop. While loop is used when you want to repeat the code, when you want to repeat the block of code as long as the condition is true. So void setup, same way in void loop you are giving some initialization value outside of this while condition and then you are saying while I less than 10. So 10 times the block will be executed repeatedly until the condition is false. Next type of loop is do while loop. Do while is also similar to while loop, but only thing it always executes the block of code at least once before checking the condition. So that condition here you are writing in void loop, int I is equal to 0, do execute this block, increment or decrement, after that check the condition while I less than 10. So these are the different types of loops, for loop, while loop and do while. Next concept is arrays. Arrays in Arduino are collection of variables of same type that are accessed by an index. So they allow you to store multiple values of same data type under one variable name. So declaration and initialization of arrays, you can do int my array. This is the name of the array and this is the size of the array. Using the index you can initialize the variable or access the variables. Int my array of 3, here you are writing the array size is 3 and what are the values you are initializing is 10, 20, 30. Next, accessing the elements. After declaring the array size, if you want to access the elements, you are going to use for loop int my array 3, for int I is equal to 0, the index starts from 0 till I less than 3, I plus plus, then you say serial.println. Serial.println you will get the output onto the serial monitor of Arduino sketch. So what is the value you are going to get? It is based on my array with the index I. So if you want I value is equal to 0, you will be getting 10 in the serial monitor. I is equal to 1, you will get in 20. So until the size of the array, if you want to access the element with help of index, you can do it. Next, array sketch. Using the array concept, you are writing the Arduino sketch where void setup, in void setup we are saying serial.begin. Serial.begin will indicate us we are doing serial communication. Data is been transferred. Next, void loop. In void loop I am using for loop, for I is equal to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus, I want to print serial.print some element. So here serial.print I, serial.print dot or serial.println my array I. So all these one by one you are printing element, like in the serial monitor if you see the output at the index 0, what is there in the array initialized? 10. Next, after some delay you will be getting 20, after some delay you are getting 30. So what are the elements in the array you have declared, all that one by one you are going to get it in the serial monitor with some delay. So the array concept we are writing in the Arduino sketch. Next concept is function. Functions are block of code that perform some specific task. So they allow you to break down your program into smaller codes so that you can manage the parts, make the programming easy easy to understand or easy to debug, easy to maintain. To do all these functions are important. So to create a function, you create a function in Arduino Sketch by specifying its return type. What is the return type of function? What is the name of the function? What are the different parameters that you are passing to the function? So that function declaration void my function. My function is the name of the function. Inside that you are going to write code of the function block. Next, calling a function. For calling the function, you are going to say void setup. Inside that my function, open close brace semicolon. That means we are calling the function. The main logic will be there in void loop. Here just we are calling it. Once the cursor sees this my function, it will come to the main method wherever you are writing in void loop. Void my function. In this you are going to write the main logic. So this is the way how you are going to call a function. Next, function parameters and return types. What is the return type that you want as an output? So you are declaring a method like int add, int x, int y, two variables you are declaring here, and you want to do addition of these two numbers. Whatever the value you are getting, you are going to return x plus y onto the serial monitor. So to do this in void setup, you are writing int result is equal to add 3 comma 5. So the x will take 3 value, y will take value 5. These both are been added and stored in the variable called as result. So whatever the value which is there in the result, you want to print it onto the serial monitor. So that's why we are saying serial.println in the bracket result. The addition of 3 plus 5 value, you will be getting it in the result. It will be collected in the result, and then you will get that output into the serial monitor. Next concept is strings. So in Arduino, strings can be manipulated using the built-in string classes, like you can do string concatenation, string comparison, string conversion. All this you can do using the string concepts with the help of string class. So string first name, you are representing the name in the double quotes. In the same way, string last name, do, and then string full name, first name plus last name. That means you are trying to concatenate both names into one form. So that whatever you are concatenating, you want to print it. Serial.println full name. In the full name, you will be getting the output by the combination of these two names, first name and then last name. In the same way, if you want to do the string operations like concatenation, char first name John, char last name Doe, full name 20 year, this is the size of the string whatever you are declaring. Now I want to copy. strcpy is string copy function which is there in string classes, copying full name comma first name. That means copy first name to the full name. Whatever the value is there in first name, you are copying it into full name. Same way, string cat is concatenation. Next, all these operations you can do, and whatever the output you want to print it on the serial monitor. For that you are using method serial.println. So all the string concepts, if you are writing in the Arduino Sketch, we say string message is equal to hello Arduino. Then void setup serial.begin, this is for serial communication, and then void loop serial.print message. What is there in message will be print on the serial monitor. So the message you have declared it as hello Arduino. So hello Arduino will be printed on the serial monitor. This if you put it in loop with some delay, every time the same message you will be getting with some time delay. Thank you.